Hello guys, today we're going to do an increasing cost practice together. So for NTI, you're going to get out your own sheet of paper. You're going to do all these problems alongside with me. I will be doing almost all of them, not all of them entirely, but almost all of them. So you're going to need your own sheet of paper, write the word increasing cost up at the top, write your name up at the top. You'll be turning this in on Wednesday at the beginning of class. You're going to need a calculator, you're going to need a pencil, you're going to need your own sheet of paper. I'm going to dive in. There's going to be multiple times I'm going to ask you to pause the video, try it by yourself, and then hit unpause and take a look at the answer. You'll be writing down all those answers. You'll be correcting yourself if you got them wrong. Make sure you're listening and following along. Because you're at home and I can't see you do it by yourself, even if you're someone who doesn't typically show your work, I need you to show all of your work today. Even if you usually do it in your head, that's not going to fly this time. I'm giving you points for showing your work. Every answer has to have a label, and I'm taking this up Wednesday at the beginning of class. After we do this paper together, it'll take us like 15 minutes. Then you'll go do a checkpoint that's on Google Classroom, and it'll be graded a lot more immediately. So you're turning in 2 things today on that NTI for NTI. And if you need me, you can email me or get on Google Meets. But there is no required Google Meets as long as you're watching this, doing this, and doing the checkpoint as well. Okay? So we are faced with an increasing opportunity cost graph right here. We know it's increasing because it has a curved line and it's goods made of 2 completely different resources. So like pairs of glasses, like what I'm wearing on my face right now because I can't see because I'm blind. And then apples, like yummy apples. If we were to produce these things as the same company, that would be insane because we'd have to train our employees to be farmers and harvest apples. And then we also have to train our employees to be like optometrists and to make glasses and lenses and metal frames. And so if we are moving our resources and our labor around this factory, it's a lot harder for us to switch between making apples and glasses, meaning the opportunity cost of one good versus the other gets larger every time we make a new decision. So I'm going to reteach you guys, review how to read the graph because the ratio of the graph is not always the same. As you can see, the interval for glasses goes up by 1 every time, 1, 1, 1. But that's not the case for apples. It goes from 0 to 25 to 40 to 50. And so this means that the ratio is going to be different between every single point. So let's do all the point ratios to begin with. So you would take your fingers and go to A and B and go down from A and B. And it'd be 0 minus 1 glasses. So that is going to be, our ratio there is going to be 1G. Okay? We put our fingers back on A and B and we go over and we get 50 down to 40. 1 pair of glasses is equal to 10 apples in that scenario, just in A to B. Now we go to B to C. We go down and glasses is 2 minus 1 there. So that is 1 glasses. And I always put my smaller number on top because it just makes more sense. So you should do the same. B and C, we go back over because we got to find the apples number. There's 40 minus 25 apples within this B to C. 40 minus 25 is 15 apples. And then we go down to C to D. From C, in between C and D, we go down to glasses. 3 minus 2 glasses is 1 glasses. And from C and D, we go over, and we get 0 up to 25, or 25 minus 0 would be 25 apples. So as you can tell, the ratio between every set of points is going to be different. So we have to approach the problem knowing which one they want us to start out with. And from there, it's just going to be cross multiply and divide to find the missing variable. So let's do a couple of them together. So number 1 says, what is the opportunity cost of 10 apples between A and B? So I go to A and B and I find my beginning ratio. Well, it's already there, 1 to 10. So I'm going to scroll down here and I'm going to say 1 pair of glasses is equal to 10 apples. Set it equal to an empty fraction where glasses are on top and apples are on the bottom. I got my correct beginning ratio between A and B. Now I fill in what I know from the problem, 10 apples. So I'm going to fill in 10 apples, fill in X for what I don't know, which is the opportunity cost. How many glasses do I lose out on if if I decide to make 10 apples at my production points between A and B. Now, some of us are really savvy with math, and we can realize we don't actually have to do cross multiply and divide to get the answer here. 10 is equal to 10, so what is going to be equal to 1? Because this is an equal sign, meaning both sides have to be the same. So the answer is going to be 1, but let's say you didn't catch on to that. Let's cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to cross, and when I cross, I do 10 times x is 10x. I'm done with fractions now. I'm setting things equal to each other. Then I cross, 1 times 10 is 10. Now, this x is the variable I'm trying to find. I have to get x alone, so I divide by 10 on one side, and what I do to one side, I must do to the other. 10x divided by 10 gets rid of the 10, it becomes an invisible 1. 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1. 1 what? I needed to make 10 more apples, so I'm going to lose out on glasses. And I have a label, I have an answer, I have my work shown. I have the answer now correct. Make sure you are showing your work, even if you can do it in your head. I believe you when I can see you in person, but when you're at home, I need you to be showing your work, okay? All right, what is the opportunity cost of one pair of glasses between B and C? So I gotta go back up to the graph, and I gotta find my beginning ratio for between B and C. Here is between B and C. Here's my beginning ratio, 1 glasses to 15 apples. So I'm gonna go back down here. Let me do this one in a different color. Let's do red, okay? So my beginning ratio between B and C is 1 glasses is equal to 15 apples. And that's different than the first one because the first one was between A and B. Now we're between B and C. I set it equal to an empty fraction with glasses on top, apples on the bottom. I fill in what I know from the problem. 1 pair of glasses. And don't pay attention to the pair of stuff. Just go with what's on the graph. 1 glasses. So 1 glasses, or 1 glass, I fill in what I know from the problem. I fill in x for what I do not know, because I don't know how many apples I'm giving up in that scenario. So, again, we have a second example where if you're really savvy with ratios, you should probably see that you don't actually have to do anything to solve this one. 1 is equal to 1, so 15 has to be equal to 15. But let's say you didn't see that, you didn't understand that, that's totally fine. Let's do the math. We cross, 1 times 15 is 15. Set it equal to the next cross, 1 times x is 1x. Okay, now again, you know that if the coefficient, which is the beginning number of a variable, is 1, that 1 is kind of invisible, but let's say it bothers you, let's just get rid of it. Divide by 1 on one side, have to divide by 1 on the other. We cross it out. X is equal to 15 divided by 1 is 15. I was making more glasses, so I'm losing out on apples. I have an answer, and I have a label for Miss Keller to see very easily. Okay? All right, let's do another one. Let me change colors again. Let's do navy. What is the opportunity cost of 5 apples between C and D? Follow along with me. So we go up to C and D. We look at our beginning ratio, 1G over 25A. So let's fill that in down here. So between C and D, we can operate making 1 pair of glasses is the same time, energy, and resources as making 25 apples. I set it equal to an empty fraction with glasses on top and apples on the bottom. And I fill in what I know from the problem. If I make 5 more apples, how many glasses am I missing out on? And let's fill in x for what we don't know. Then we're going to cross multiply. 25 times x is 25x. Set it equal to the other cross multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Divide by what is next to the variable, 25. Divide by 25. 25 divided by 25 is x. It cancels out and leaves just x. 5 divided by 25, you could write as a fraction. So it could be 1 over 5, because 5 is how we simplify that. Or that is 0.2. And if you put it in a calculator, 5 divided by 25 or 1 divided by 5. And what were we looking for? We made 5 more apples, so we lost out on glasses. Okay. All right. Number 4. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do on number 4. Number 4, I'm going to ask you to pause the video right now and try it by yourself. So pause. I'll give you a second. Okay, welcome back. And let's do this one together. Now that you have an answer, hopefully you got the answer of 1/3. If not, follow along and write down what I wrote down. And it's fine if you got it wrong, as long as you correct your work. You don't even have to erase, just write out to the side how we get the correct answer. So we're gonna go to B and C. What is the opportunity cost? What do I lose out on if I decide to make 5 apples between B and C? So I'm gonna go up to B and C. B and C, I'm operating at 1 glass is the same as making 15 apples. So my beginning ratio is 1/15. Let me change colors again. So 1 glasses is the same as making, what did I say? Between B and C. B and C, it's 15 apples. Sorry about that whiplash. 15 apples. I set it equal to an empty fraction with glasses on top and apples on the bottom. I fill in what I know from the problem. 5 apples between B and C. 5 apples. What do I not know? I don't know how many glasses. I cross multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Set it equal to 15 times x is 15x. I divide by what is next to the variable to get it alone. What I divide on one side, I must divide on the other. I cross out. 15 divided by 15 becomes an invisible 1. 5 divided by 15 you could put in your calculator. It will spit out that is, I believe, 0.333. Or you could simplify it to be 1/3, and that is 5 apples. They asked us to make 5 more apples, so we can't make 1/3 of a pair of glasses. Oh, wow, I really butchered the spelling of that. Sorry. Okay, moving on. Number 5 and 6, I'm actually not going to give you the answer to. So, number 5, right now, I'm going to help you set it up. And then I'm going to stop and I'm not going to give you the answer. Okay? So you're going to have to do this on your own. Let's set up number 5. I'm going to change colors again. What's the opportunity cost of 2 apples between A and B? So I go up to A and B. I find my beginning ratio, 1g/10a. So my beginning ratio for A and B is 1 glasses is the same as making 10 apples. I set it equal to an empty fraction with glasses on top and apples on the bottom. And what is the opportunity cost if I make 2 apples between A and B? Then what am I losing out on in terms of glasses? And that's where I'm going to leave you. I'm going to make you do it by yourself. So pause the video right now. Do this by yourself. And then you're going to cross multiply, you're going to divide, and you're going to end up with an answer and a label. And I'll go ahead and tell you, your label is going to be in glasses. You need to fill this out right here. Go ahead and do that right now. All right, welcome back. Hopefully you got the right answer. We will see when you turn in the paper. Number 6, I'm going to make you do entirely by yourself. I'm not even going to do this. I'm not even going to set it up for you. I will tell you that you're going to go to between C and D. You're going to be using this as your beginning ratio. Okay, so go ahead and do number 6 completely by yourself. And I'll tell you this as well. You're going to put a label with an answer and a box around it. They asked us to make half a pair more of glasses, so we're going to be losing out on apples on this one. So I'll give you even that hint. Do number 6 right now by yourself and hit play when you are ready. Okay. Thank you all so much for sticking around this long. I got 2 more really simple problems for you. Okay, I want you to, on your paper, put number 7. And I want you to tell me one thing that you are grateful for on this snow day. One thing you're grateful for. I, for example, am grateful that I get to stay home with my little girl. My son went to the babysitter, but I get to have like a girl's day while I work and get on Google Meet with my little baby. It's going to be a nice day to get to work from home. Okay, and then finally, number 8, for those of you who stuck around so long, thank you so, so much. I appreciate you doing all your work. Here's what I want to do. I want to give you a little bit of extra credit. So don't tell anybody about this. You're going to keep it to yourself because you want to be the one getting extra credit. If you go right now, right after you watch this video, right after you've done the work, go to Google Classroom, go to today's assignment. It says NTI, January 16th. Click on the private comment and leave me a smiley face. Leave me a smiley face, type a smiley face in the box, an emoji in the box. I will give you extra credit on your assignment today for sticking around so long on this video. After this video, after you get your little piece of extra credit for number 8 for your little smiley face, you are going to go do the checkpoint online. Some of it is multiple choice and some of it is short answer where you have to type the label as well. Those are the only 2 things I need from you. You'll turn this paper in on Wednesday. You'll do the checkpoint right now on NTI for Tuesday. Thank you so much.